Welcome to the Cox Pavilion. We're at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Tonight, a little bit of history. This will be the first presidential debate ever in this state. So let's begin our questioning tonight. Campbell Brown.
You said of the last debate that you weren't at your best that day. You stumbled on an important question involving illegal immigration. But your opponents are saying that that's really part of a larger pattern with you, that you often avoid taking firm positions on controversial issues. And one of your opponents on this stage calls this the politics of parsing. How do you respond to that?
Well, Campbell, I am happy to be here tonight. And this pantsuit, it's asbestos tonight. So I am aware that some people say that, but I think that the American people know where I've stood for 35 years.
Senator Clinton, I think, is a capable politician, and I think that she has run a terrific campaign. But what the American people are looking for right now is straight answers to tough questions. And that is not what we've seen out of Senator Clinton. On a host of issues. On Social Security, we have serious disagreements about how we're going to make sure that Social Security is there for the people who need it. And what I'm absolutely convinced of is that right now, we need a different kind of politics.
He talks a lot about stepping up and taking responsibility and taking strong positions. But when it came time to step up and decide whether or not he would support universal health care coverage, he chose not to do that. His plan would leave 15 million Americans out. That's about the population of Nevada, Iowa, South Carolina, and New Hampshire.
The only difference between Senator Clinton's health care plan and mine is that she thinks the problem for people without health care is that nobody has forced them to get health care. That's not what I'm seeing around Nevada. What I see are people who would love to have health care. They desperately want it. But the problem is they can't afford it.
The most important thing here is to level with the American people. Senator Obama's health care plan does not cover everyone. There's a big difference between Senator Obama and me. He starts from the premise of not reaching universal health care.
Hold on, one at a time.
No, I understand, but look, I'm not going to...
Senator Obama, we're going to have a lot more on health care, but go ahead, go ahead.
I will be very brief on this issue. Hillary states that she wants to mandate health care coverage, but she's not garnishing people's wages to make sure that they have it.
All right.
She's not...
Okay, please.
She is...
Go ahead, Senator.
She is not enforcing this mandate. And I don't think that the problem with the American people is that they are not being forced to get health care. The problem is they can't afford it, and that is why my plan provides the mechanism to make sure that they can.
The issue is whether we can have a president that can restore trust for the American people in the President of the United States. The most important issue is she says she will bring change to Washington while she continues to defend a system that does not work, that is broken, that is rigged, and is corrupted against the interest of most Americans.
All right,
I've just been personally
Senator
attacked
Clinton,
again.
I'll let you respond.
I respect all of my colleagues on this stage, and you know, we're Democrats, and we're trying to nominate the very best person we can to win. And I don't mind taking hits on my record, on issues, but when somebody starts throwing mud, at least we can hope that it's both accurate and not right out of the Republican playbook. Senator Edwards raised health care again. When Senator Edwards ran in 2004, he wasn't for universal health care. I'm glad he is now. But for him to be throwing this mud and making these charges, I think really detracts from what we're trying to do here tonight.
I want Senator Biden to weigh in. Senator Biden.
No.
I want you to weigh in.
Don't do it. No. Don't make me speak.
I want you to. Go ahead. What do you think, Senator Biden, here's the question. What do you think about this exchange among Democrats? Is that good for the Democrats or is it bad?
Hey, look, let's get to it, folks. The American people don't give a darn about any of this stuff that's going on up here.
It's absolutely fair for people to learn from their experience and grow and mature and change. There's a difference between that and saying two contrary things at exactly the same time. I mean, for example, just over the course of the last week, Senator Clinton said in Washington that she would vote for the Peru trade deal, and she said in Iowa, talking to union members, that she wanted a moratorium on trade deals.
Are you ready to commit absolutely, positively that you will support the Democratic nominee no matter who that nominee is? No ifs, ands, or buts. Senator Edwards.
Is that a planted question?
Yes, I planted it.
Yes, I absolutely will support the Democratic nominee for president.
Some have suggested that your campaign, that your husband are exploiting gender as a political issue during this campaign. What's really going on here?
Well, I'm not exploiting anything at all. People are not attacking me because I'm a woman. They're attacking me because I'm a head. And I understand as Harry Truman famously said, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And I feel very comfortable in the kitchen, and I'm going to, withstand the heat.
What did you mean at Wellesley when you referred to the boys' club?
Campbell.
Just curious.
Well, it is clear, I think, from women's experiences that from time to time, there may be some impediments. And it has been my goal over the course of my lifetime to be part of this great movement of progress that includes all of us, but has particularly been significant to me as a woman.
Every single candidate on this stage should be held to exactly the same standard. I do believe, however, that voters need to know that we have choices. There's nothing personal about this. Senator Clinton defends the system, takes money from lobbyists, does all those things. And my point is simply that people have, wait a minute, voters have those choices.
Senator Clinton, you've been criticized by Senator Obama, I think Senator Edwards, among others, for refusing to take a hard and fast position on whether you would raise the tax above those making $97,500 a year to try to secure Social Security in the long term. Are you ready to make a hard and fast statement now on your position on what Senator Obama just said?
I do not want to fix the problems of Social Security on the backs of middle-class families and seniors. If you lift the cap completely, that is a $1 trillion tax increase. I don't think we need to do that.
So you're not ready to accept a raising of the cap on that, but I know that Senator Obama wants to respond to you.
I will be very brief on this, because Hillary, I've heard you say this is a $1 trillion tax cut on the middle class by adjusting the cap. Understand that only 6% of Americans make more than $97,000 a year. So 6% is not the middle class, it's the upper class. And, this is the kind of thing that I would expect from Mitt Romney or Rudy Giuliani, where we start playing with numbers. We start playing with numbers in order to try to make a point. And we can't do that. No. This is too important. This is too important for us to pretend that we are using numbers like $1 trillion tax cut instead of responsibly dealing with a problem that Judy asked for, and she said she wants a specific answer. And that's what I provided. But understand, this is the top 6%, and that is not the middle class.
Senator?
First of all, I think that you meant a tax increase, because that's what it would be. But secondly, it is absolutely the case that there are people who would find that burdensome. Now, when people say be specific, I listened very carefully to what Senator Obama said when he appeared on one of the Sunday morning shows. And he basically said that he was for looking at a lot of different things and using a bipartisan commission to do it. I think that's the right answer. That is where I have been from the very beginning.
Suzanne, go ahead.
Maria, would you stand, please? Give us your full name.
Maria Parra Sandoval, and I'm a UNLV student. And my question is for Senator Clinton. This is a fun question for you. Do you prefer diamonds or pearls?
Now, I know I'm sometimes accused of not being able to make a choice. I want both.
Do we get to ask any of the other candidates, or I suppose just Senator Clinton?
I'm for diamonds.
Okay.
It's the only thing shining up there.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, so on that note, diamonds and pearls, I want to thank all of the Democratic presidential candidates for joining us here this evening. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Thank you.